Uber's Travis Kalanick epitomizes the frat boy libertarian approach in Silicon Valley. He has no respect for government, no respect for his employees, no respect for critical journalists who go after his company. Indeed, there was a recent case where one of his VPs suggested that they would go after one of the journalists, a female journalist called Sarah Lacey, and Kalanick did absolutely nothing, didn't even dismiss this VP. So Kalanick epitomizes that libertarianism. He used to have an Ayn Rand photo on his Twitter page. More seriously though, although that's also a serious critique, Uber epitomizes the reason why the internet is not the answer. At the moment, we have this free market ideology that says all you need are platforms, that the Uber platform for cabs will replace the old archaic monopolies of the 20th century. But of course, Uber represents a much more dangerous monopoly. The reason why Uber is valued at $40 billion, the reason why billions of dollars of Silicon Valley and Wall Street money have poured into Uber is because it's a play at actually controlling the entire global cab transportation industry. Uber is not for the people, it's not for the consumer, it's for Uber employees, it's for Travis Kalanick to dominate that market. It becomes the dominant platform, and with that domination, it's a really very scary prospect. Already, Uber's behavior, I think, is untenable and very morally questionable. For example, the Uber market is so dependent on the free market that when it rains, when there's a snowstorm, on New Year's Eve, on Thanksgiving, on any occasion where there's excessive demand for cabs, Uber fares go up 10, 12x. There's no regulation, there's no defense. Let me give you the best anecdote, I think, of all. I was in Detroit a few months ago, got into the back of a cab, African-American driver, had 5 cabs of his own, would have been one of those small businessmen who would be swept away by Uber. Hard-working guy, very anti-Uber. He told me a story. His brother-in-law got out of jail, done 10 years for manslaughter. When he came out of jail, I said to him, what did he do? Come and work for you? He said, no, I can't employ him. The regulations are against me employing someone who's done 10 years for manslaughter. But that brother-in-law got a job with Uber. There's no checks on Uber drivers. So when you get into the back of an Uber cab, you can be attacked. There are more and more cases in the Bay Area of Uber drivers bullying their customers, even physically attacking them. So all this free market libertarian ideology, this idea that the government is the enemy, that regulation is the enemy, is lending itself to a system whereby Uber isn't regulated, isn't controlled, can charge us anything they want, can exploit us as customers. Uber is even exploiting its drivers. It doesn't employ them. It doesn't give them any security. It doesn't allow them to join unions. And the Uber drivers are indeed themselves striking against Uber because they see it as exploitative. So on every level, whether it's the driver, the customer, the legacy cab companies, the local authorities, Uber is exploitative and bad news. It's the reason why, without regulation, the internet is not the answer.